Hello everyone, this is Josh Play Place, and today we continue to expand our city of Port Austin in Cities Skylines 2. In our last episode, we finally built our first harbor, and today we're gonna try to fix it because the path finding routes weren't working properly, and let's see if we can try to expand our medium density residential area and maybe even our industrial area. So let's begin. And well, as you can remember, in our last episode, we had issues because we could not get this route to properly work. As you can see here, it's not giving us the option. So let me pause the game really quick. I hope we have enough money, but let's try to do this. Let's try to reroute the lane, the seaway, and let's see if that has any effect. And let's hope that we're it should be fine. So we're not able to, let's see, well, at least this one is working properly now, or is it? Nope, it's still giving us trouble. Let's once more try that, because again, I don't want to delete everything, and there's nothing else here. So you know what? Let's do something. Let's just unlock these squares, which we can. So let's get another loan. I know we're getting to a point where we're asking for too much money, but for now, let's do it so we can make sure that this harbor properly works, because we don't want to have issues, especially since we do want to expand our industry. So at least this cargo harbor, the first one, is working fine. Let's see if we can get another one here, and yes, it's working. So let's just add a couple more routes. I think the same ones from the other one. Again, we'll only doing harbor, cargo transport. So let's keep that running. Again, I honestly don't want to buy some more tiles because there's more maintenance required per month. So we'll see how that goes. I guess that's gonna help us a lot. Let's make sure everything's fine. So let's add just a little bit more industry in here, and I think that should be fine. Now, what we really need to do is to add a whole lot more of residential zones. So I think the first thing we're gonna try to do is we're already gonna try to make this a larger town, and what we are gonna do is we are gonna start zoning high density and medium density. We already have some in here, but let's take a look what we have. So we have medium here. Let's do some more medium density here, here, and here, and let's have some high density here and here, and let's do something a little bit similar in this area. So we're gonna do medium, and we're gonna do high density. In terms of high density commercial, let's do it like this. So again, this is usually what happens with some of the towns. As they grow, the downtown area becomes the space for the high rises. In here, we're just trying different things, and we were able to do this really cool area that has high density, medium density, and low density across this avenue. So let's see how that's gonna go. Let's wait a couple of minutes and let's see how tall this gets. And see, I think this is starting to look really, really good. As always, we're gonna have issues with traffic. I mean, this is just an accident, so that doesn't matter. But in here, I think we're doing well. Yeah, we definitely should be fine. I mean, this is going well. I do think that in the very near future, we're gonna have to redo this part of the expressway, of the highway. I want to keep this being like on a higher level. That way we can have access to this side, but that's gonna be for later. And right now, as you can see here, we are doing not bad at all. Let's see if we can pay. Let's pay, you know what, let's pay only 200,000 for now. That way we can have a little bit more money. And like I always say, first of all, we need to look at our info screen. So right now we're doing well with parking. I think we do need to open a parking garage in here. That's gonna be for a later. In terms of traffic, I mean, I guess it's okay. We'll try to figure out how to fix this so that we can have access in this area into this avenue. Electricity, we are at a point where we might want to invest in something else regarding electricity. And if we look at our milestones, I think the next step would be either to do solar or to do geothermal, but we actually need a battery to do this, and we have 17 development points. So I think we can do geothermal and then solar, again depending on how well we are doing in terms of money. Right now we have some money from the loan that we took. Again, we needed to fix those seaways, and we were able to do so. Again, sometimes things are just a little bit finicky, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. In terms of water, we're fine with what we have right now. We already have the hospital here. We might want to do something with the hospital. We have the recycling center. We have the college. That's something that we also need to invest on. Fire rescue. Maybe we want the fire station. We have 10 points, so we'll wait just for now. We have the welfare office, police headquarters, city hall. Maybe we want city hall. We'll see how that goes. In here, I think the only one that we might want next is the train, so let's buy this. And tourist attractions, I think we're fine waiting for this for our next milestone. And in terms of post, again, I think we're fine for now. We just need to actually build, for example, for post, we actually need to build the post office, the regular one, not the smaller one. And for train, we do have to invest on the rail yard and the stations. So we're gonna see how that goes. We will be terraforming all this. I think that's part of the whole thing about, seeing how actually cities get affected when you start growing and growing and growing the city. And I think in here we can, I think we can zone for low density, and we can do this high density. Let's see how that behaves. And we still have the need for more industrial. There's an accident. Hopefully that will sort itself out. And again, we are fast forwarding this as much as we can so that we can start getting more and more money. We have a healthy surplus, but unfortunately we don't get that money right away, which is something that I wish we could have available when we need it. As we can see here, things are growing. The areas that we rezone from low to high density are slowly building themselves. We have this really cool building. Level 1 out of 5, households 59 out of 144, which is something that I truly appreciate in this game. In City Skylines 1, we used to have these tall buildings with like 5 families, and that really didn't make a lot of sense. So I'm glad that, there's some changes here. And we still have needs for commercial, so we'll see where else we can place that. And maybe let's see where maybe we can do some. Let's do high and let's do low in here, and maybe more low and low again. Or you know what, let's dezone this. Well, we don't have any issues at the moment. So we do have a lot of issues with ambulances, so we'll see. We don't have money, of course, for the hospital, but maybe we can do a medical clinic. We'll add another one. We have one in this area, we have another here. And I think because we have a lot of medium density buildings and a lot of high density, it should be built in this corner if possible. There we go. And we can see already the ambulances being dispatched, and I am gonna upgrade the depot so we can have more ambulances. And I think, yeah, they're gonna be dispatched pretty soon. Again, I think that's something positive for our city. I think that's gonna go, that's gonna work great. Since we have a little bit of money, let's see if we can place either a school or a high school. And I don't think we're gonna have enough money for the high school. And again, we do need to start thinking about the college. It's only 750,000, so we'll see how that goes. And in terms of elementary school, we need a lot of it. Same thing for high school, but we don't have the money. But at least let's try to place one. There's nothing here, and I think we were gonna try to do something. So let's place that one here. And I think we're gonna be able later on to put a high school right around here. That should be the regular high school, right? I think that's big enough. Or maybe we can be here, but I think we need to put some more stuff in this area. Okay. So what options do we have here for the elementary? So we are gonna add the extension wings. We are gonna do the children's clinic, and we are gonna do the playground. And I think we should be fine in here already. And just for right now, let's just add some vegetation, because I think it's gonna be fine. Or again, for now, we're gonna do some pine and some hickory. And as you can see, this is already full. So it's really a big need that we need. Right, so we are gonna see how things are going. And let's see what else we can do for this high school. We can add another extension wing, and I think let's try to dezone all of these. That way we have enough space for the additional wing wings. Let's see how many we can actually place. So we can do 1 and we can do 2. So I think that's perfect. That increase our capacity to 700. Again, it's not that much, but I think it's great because that's gonna help. What we could do, I think it's just too expensive to just keep adding these ones, but I think that's gonna work for right now. Again, we're still making enough money, it's just not fast enough. We don't have any needs for residential that much at the moment, and so let's do some low density in here. That way we can match the needs, and we now again we can start having demand for residential. So let's continue adding some residential here. Again, even though this is great, you know, that you have a radius, I really wish like we would just be able to keep on putting some here and just have maybe a max of like 6 or 5, as opposed to just having the radius. And also honestly, I don't think there's a need to have more than one stadium, so I think that that's just a little bit too much. Again, just in my opinion. We're still making money, and I think we really wanted to see what this requires: food and meals. We really want to try to increase our availability for industry, and I think that's gonna be our next little expansion here. And let's buy this square. I am gonna delete this railway because once we actually have the railroad running through here, I think I'm gonna have the station be in this area. I think that's gonna be fine. So let me terraform and do some zoning in this area. Well, we were able to make this grow, and now we have a lot of demand for, again, low density. But let's take a look at what are the issues with happiness. And here we have availability of jobs, which, you know, we're growing, so that should be fine. Taxes, unoccupied buildings, and so on and so forth. So I think for now we're supposed to be fine. Maybe we can lower taxes. Let's just lower taxes for residential, commercial, and office, and let's just leave the industry as is. We're not making as much as we should be making, but I think that's gonna help us with our demand. So let's just leave it like that just for a little bit. And let's focus on what we want to do, which is basically grow this residential area a little bit more. So the question today is, and we're having a lot of issues with the hairs. Let's see. First of all, let's see if we can. Well, first of all, let's look at the milestones. We got to small city, which means that now we have a larger loan limit. We got a good amount of money. Now we have high density offices, high speed highways, combustion engine bans, and city promotion for our city. We also got some development points, and the first thing that I want to do is get the crematorium. And let's look to see how much the crematorium is. We should be able to do it, and let's do it right now. Let's add the crematorium here. We'll put it I don't want to put it next to the hospital, but let's put it here for now. And just really quick, we need to make sure we are gonna need some water. So let's put another See, there's already a lot of need. So let's put this other, this one here, and let's add a little road. And we should be fine with water, yes, and sewage. So we should be fine for now. Let's not worry about that. So we're looking at our city. Our city is growing nicely because, of course, it is. So we need to figure out how we want to expand our city, how we want to keep expanding it. We can either go, or we should go this way, of course, or we can try to do this way and get an exit to this highway. And I think that's the way to go. Let's see what options we have, because again, we shouldn't just spend a lot of money. So let's see, maybe we can add, at least for now, these two, and that's as much money as we will spend for now. And again, we're still making good money. So you know what, let's add another 3 or 4. We don't have the money, so let's see. Oh yeah, we don't have the money, so let's just leave it like that. Let's continue with this avenue, I think, or this boulevard, however you want to call it. So you can go from here to here, and I think it would be nice if I think we can finish. Let's try to do it from here. Again, we want to do a little overpass, and then we're going to do an overpass again here on the expressway to do one of my exits like this. I think that works well, especially when it's curved roads, because curved roads give you a little bit of a headache when you're trying to figure things out. So I think that's the way to go. When we have an intersection like this, I like to continue and just put a medium, let's do a medium for now. Roundabout. Is that what we have here? Yeah, we should be fine. And so what I'm gonna do next is I will finish this little subdivision so we can have a whole lot more low density residential areas, and we'll come back to see how well it goes. So now that, unfortunately, we have demand for medium density, and I think we can fix that a little bit easier because we can add a little bit more on this side. So let's try to work medium density in here, and a we add another one here. That should be good. So we're gonna add, you know what? Let's do the mixed housing here, and let's do low density commercial in here. And I think that's gonna help us with our demand. The only other thing is that I do think we need a little bit of offices. So let's see if we can add just let's try to add some here, so we can add it in this side. So let's do that. We're not gonna do high density, we're just gonna do regular density. I think that's gonna work well, and we're gonna let that simmer just for a little bit. So now we are actually doing really well, which is why our money has been going up a little bit faster. So let's work a little bit with this big area, and since we have an elementary school here, and I do think we are gonna do a high school here, and maybe we can do another school, but I think we can do the urban elementary school here. That one has a very large capacity, so let's do that. There you go. Now, of course, we are doing a smaller surplus, which is fine. Again, as long as we keep doing what we are, which is growing our city, making sure that all the needs are met. Not everything, of course, is going to be met. For example, we are already about to import electricity, and I forgot that we actually had chosen to have the solar power plant. Is just too expensive for now, so I think we're gonna do another coal plant. Again, this is cheaper than actually importing, so let me just take this off in here, and let me just put it in here. We're gonna do a little transformer station in this road, and we're gonna connect it just so that we don't have that. And we're already we're exporting now, and service rates should be 0. There you go. That's what we like to see. And again, now we're doing a really healthy amount of money, and most of the expenses are basically service upkeeps, the loan interest, and the tile up. We're okay with this, right? We'll even lower the taxes, which means that people should be a little bit happier, and that's something that we haven't taken a look at. So so the walking distance to elementary school is fine, wealth is fine, there's lack of entertainment, there's abundance of leisure time, there's reliable mail service, high noise pollution, spacious homes, and reliable internet service. So okay, so one of the things that that we need to talk about is that, and we've already said it, but this game feels a little bit empty, right? We don't have that many options when it comes to people's leisure, and I think that's one of the main one of the big things about this game. Again, we compare it to City Skylines 1 that has many years, have been released, a lot of DLCs, a lot of content creator packs, and a lot of free stuff in the workshop. So even then we need to consider that. We also need to consider that the developers knew what we might be expecting, right? So for us not to have all those places where people might want to go, I think that's a little bit crazy. So let's try to play something here that we can't. You know, there's only 4 things. We don't even have a large theme park. That's something that I think would have worked great. Again, we have the parks DLC in City Skylines 1. I'm not asking for the same thing, just something else. And even with the landmarks, I mean, these are just way too much for the city, right? I honestly don't like it. So let's do a community pool, and we're gonna put it Or you know what? Let me just see what else we're gonna be able to do here. So we have the playground, which we're gonna place here, and we're gonna do the extension floors, which actually is a pretty cool idea. And that's about it. So yes, we can do the community pool right here. And I'm gonna expand this road really quick. Again, we need to figure out what we're gonna do in this area. Again, we don't need to do another exit or anything. This is gonna work just perfectly fine. And I think that yeah, we're gonna expand this just a little bit, because I think that's where we are gonna do our connecting road. So again, let me just, there you go, and let's try to raise this. Yeah, let's just continue with the trend. There you go. I think that's just perfect. Let's do this. Everything looks nice. Let's take off the light, and let's add for sports parks, since we already have the pool. But I still think that we need to add either a small playground, a tiny city park. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's do a large city park, and let's just add a walkway from these corporates. Do you? Nope, of course not. So there you go. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything from here, but I think the other thing we can do is add a little bit of vegetation here. That way we can have our students have a little bit more privacy. There you go. And we're having issues with the sewage, so we're gonna have to add yet another one. That's an interesting one. So let's do that here. Let's fast forward, and there we are, just perfectly fine. And what's the issue here? Garbage piling up. So let's try to see how we can help this. So let's add the garbage truck depot. Let's do, this can be help with the processing. So yeah, let's add one, and that should be enough, at least for now. That should start working itself pretty quick. And I think we need to add just a little bit of commercial, and I think this is the perfect place. As you can see, when it's yellow or green, especially when it's green, that works really well. And let's admire really quick the growth of our downtown with these beautiful tall buildings. It looks really nice. I think that's something that it's always nice to see in these cities, in this type of games. SimCity, City Skylines, I think it's great to see these really nice tall skyscrapers. And with our city, we were able to do that. And we're doing it as I think it works well, more quote-unquote organic for North America, which is in the downtown area of the city. And I think that this is perfectly fine. So before we end this episode, let's recap what we did. So first of all, we were able to fix the port and the connections. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of connections. And if we look at the details, you know, everything is working fine. It's working really well. We did grow our industrial area. So as you can see here, we have the option to expand. We did unlock the 3-4 train. So pretty soon we need to figure out, you know, once we get a little bit more money, where we're gonna do the rail yard, which I think should be fine in this area. We'll figure out once we do the exit here, we can continue the road and then try to figure out how we're gonna do that. Right, especially in here, since this seems to be a bit of a hill. So we need to figure out where we're gonna do that, the rail yard. Again, by the water, kind of makes sense, but it's fine. And then we need to figure out first what we're gonna do with the cargo, if we're actually gonna put it here, which, you know, we don't have access to do it yet, but it should be here. We shouldn't have any issues, and that way we have all our industrial area and imports and exports here, along with having, let me add more industrial. See, that's gonna grow really nice with here. And I do believe that maybe in the near future we can have our port for, you know what, yeah, our passenger port maybe be around this area. I think that's it's gonna be really nice. We were also able to create a new neighborhood or to grow that subdivision. I think this is looking really nice. Unfortunately, I forgot to keep on the curved roads, but I think that's gonna work really well. It's gonna allow us to work on things really nice. And as you can see, this is gonna help us a lot, because there's gonna have to be a bus line in this road, right? And then there's gonna have to be another one in this road, and then one in here, then maybe one somewhere from here to here. And that, I think that's gonna help our city lower its congestion when it comes to traffic or transit, because we do need it. You know, that's what the city is gonna have to grow with. And we were able to add this really nice urban elementary school, which, you know, it's already completely in use. There you go. It's really cool, really nice. We need to actually work on fire department on our next episode, as well as anything we can do with money. Even though, you know, again, we're having a healthy amount of surplus, we need to figure that one out. So again, just to recap, we fixed the harbor, we added in very large industrial zones here, we added more low density residential, and we created this area that's helping us with high density and to deal with students with elementary in elementary age, which we still need a lot of stuff here, right? But that means that we're doing great, that our city is growing. Of course, we have a lot of issues that we need to fix, and that's part of the fun of this. So as always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, for liking and subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, of course, make sure to leave them in the comment section. As always, thank you, and we'll see each other in our next episode. Thank you.